The galaxy watched in silence. Billions of eyes, from hundreds of worlds, were fixed on one place. The enemy fleet had come with pride. With power, with weapons that could erase continents, they believed Earth would be easy. They believed humans would surrender, as so many others had before. But what happened next was something no one expected. The great fleet of the enemy. Ships as big as cities now floated silently in orbit. They were not firing. They were not advancing. Instead, they were surrendering one after another without a fight. Alien commanders were dropping their weapons, silencing their guns, and even broadcasting messages of peace. The galaxy was in shock. Why would a proud, undefeatable army surrender before the first true battle? What had they seen? What had they heard? The answer came when a single broadcast began to play. It echoed through the alien fleet, through the council chambers, and across the galactic networks. But before that broadcast, before the truth was revealed, something had already shaken the invaders. It began when the enemy first entered Earth's orbit. Their commanders were laughing. "Primitive world," one officer sneered. "No shields, no orbital cannons, no defense grid. This will be quick." Their leader, a warlord who had burned dozens of colonies, nodded with pride.
We will.
"Show the galaxy what happens when Earth stands against us." But then their sensors began to pick up strange signals. At first, they thought it was interference, static, or human desperation. But the signals grew louder. It was a transmission moving across their channels, entering their systems, even slipping past their encrypted lines. The aliens tried to block it. They failed. They tried to jam it. It only became clearer. The broadcast was human. A voice calm yet heavy with steel spoke through the static. "You came here to conquer, came here to enslave, but you do not understand humanity. Think you know war? You think you know fear. You have no idea what waits for you here." The alien officers grew uneasy. They had crushed civilizations before. None had dared to speak like this. None had sounded so calm in the face of death. The broadcast continued. "We have fought each other for thousands of years. We destroyed ourselves, rebuilt ourselves, and learned to survive every nightmare we created. You think your fleet frightens us? We are born from war. We are sharpened by it." The warlord ordered the signal cut immediately. But it was too late. Every soldier heard it. Every ship heard it. Even those on distant worlds listening through the council's channels heard it. And then came the images. The broadcast was not just words. It carried visions. Scenes of Earth's past wars filled the alien screen's massive battles with millions of humans fighting at once. Cities burning. Soldiers marching. Nuclear fire lighting up the sky. Planes dropping bombs with relentless precision. The oceans swallowing fleets. The invaders froze. For them, war was swift in simple ships. Lasers, plasma weapons. But what they saw from humanity was something else. It was endless, brutal, relentless. And then came the part that broke them. The broadcast showed humans smiling in the middle of destruction, soldiers helping each other in mud and blood, families rebuilding after bombs, survivors crawling from fire, refusing to give up, a human mother protecting her child while the world burned behind her. The aliens felt something they had never felt before: true fear. "This is not a race that surrenders," one alien whispered. The broadcast grew darker. It showed weapons humanity had not even used in space yet. Experimental railguns, missiles that could split the atmosphere, ships built in hidden yards, showed humans training billions strong, preparing not just to defend, but to strike back. Then, the voice returned. "You came here thinking we are weak, but you have already lost. Not because of our weapons, not because of our ships, but because of what we are. Humanity does not kneel. Humanity does not break. If you fight us, you will not return home. You will not survive. You will remember Earth as the grave of your empire." Silence filled the alien command bridge. Their soldiers looked at one another, trembling. For the first time, they saw the humans not as prey, but as predators. The warlord's hands shook. Though he tried to hide it, it's just propaganda, he growled. But his voice lacked strength. His soldiers no longer believed him. And then, as if to strike the final blow, the human broadcast ended with 7 words that echoed across every fleet. "We are humanity. We are your nightmare." The enemy fleet broke. Captains surrendered. Soldiers dropped their weapons. Some even begged for mercy. The galaxy could not understand. Why had the greatest invading force surrendered to a single world? Why had they thrown away their victory before the first shot? The answer was simple: because they had seen what humanity really was. And the broadcast was only the beginning. The surrender of the enemy. Fleets spread like wildfire across the galaxy. No one could believe it. 1,000 warships, each stronger than anything Earth owned, had given up without a true fight. The Galactic Council gathered in emergency session. The chamber, usually calm and full of pride, was now restless. Representatives from hundreds of species shouted over one another. "This cannot be real." One delegate roared, his scaled hands slamming the table. "The fleet we funded, the fleet we trusted, has fallen to Earth before the battle even began." Another alien, tall with silver skin, hissed, "No." They were not defeated in combat. They surrendered, laid down their arms to humans. Do you know what this means? Fear spread faster than war. The High Speaker of the Council raised his hand. Silence fell slowly. His voice was deep, heavy. We all saw the broadcast. Shiver went through the chamber. No one wanted to admit it, but every delegate had watched it. The human words, the human images, were burned into their minds. Some had not slept since. The speaker leaned forward. What we saw was not propaganda. It was history. It was warning. Humanity showed us their past and hinted at their future. Murmurs echoed. One representative shook his head. "It cannot be. Humans have no fleet equal to ours. Their weapons are primitive. Their defenses are nothing compared to us." Yet his voice broke. Even I felt something in that broadcast. Something wrong. The word hung heavy. In the air, fear for the first time. The galaxy feared Earth. Meanwhile, on Earth itself, humanity watched the surrender with mixed emotions. Crowds filled the streets of cities, cheering. But leaders gathered in secret rooms. The president of Earth's United Council spoke quietly to his generals. They saw the broadcast. They saw what we wanted them to see. But this is only the beginning. They will come again. And next time, they will come with more than fear. The generals nodded. Humanity had won the first battle without firing a shot. But they knew the galaxy would not stop. Empires did not accept humiliation. They would regroup, rebuild, and return. Back in the council chambers, a new voice spoke. It belonged to an elder alien, his face scarred from wars long past. His people had once resisted the same invaders who now surrendered to Earth. They had been crushed. His eyes burned with something between respect and dread. "You do not understand humanity," he said slowly. "I've studied them for years. Do you know what I saw in their history? They are a species that should not exist. They kill each other, destroy their own homes, poison their skies, and still they rise. No matter how much they bleed, they rise again." The chamber was silent. The elder continued. "We build our civilizations on peace, on order, on tradition. But humanity builds on chaos. They do not fear war. They are shaped by it." That broadcast was not just history, it was a promise. If we push them, if we corner them, they will fight us with everything. And I fear they will win. Many laughed nervously, but their voices cracked. Even those who mocked could not erase the images of burning cities, endless armies, and human faces smiling through the fire. The High Speaker finally spoke again. "So what is our choice? Do we leave Earth alone? Or do we prepare for the war to end all wars?" No one answered. The council chamber was filled with silence, broken only by the pounding of hearts. Across the stars, the defeated enemy fleet drifted in shame. Their commanders sent desperate messages, begging for forgiveness. But their soldiers whispered a different story. They spoke of the human broadcast. They spoke of the fire in human eyes. They spoke of the final words. We are humanity. We are your nightmare. And those whispers spread. Across colonies, across worlds, ordinary beings began to question everything. Could it be true? Could this small blue planet hold the power to destroy empires? On Earth, the broadcast voice, the same calm human who had spoken to the galaxy, was silent. No one outside the highest command knew who he was. Some thought he was a general. Others thought he was just a soldier. But among the leaders, one truth was clear. The broadcast was a weapon more powerful than lasers, more terrifying than fleets. It had struck at the heart of every soldier's mind. It had made them surrender without a battle. But as one general whispered that night, staring at the stars, a weapon like this only works once. Next time, they will come prepared. The president's eyes narrowed. Then we will be ready. Humanity has waited too long in silence. If they want war, they will learn what Earth truly is. The galaxy did not know it yet, but the real war was only beginning. The council chamber was divided. What had once been a hall of unity was now a battlefield of words. Some leaders shouted for immediate war. Others warned that war with humanity would doom them all. Their broadcast was nothing more than a bluff. One counselor barked, his long fingers trembling as he pointed at the hologram of Earth. They wanted us to fear them, and it worked. But if we strike now, while they are still weak, we will end this before they rise. Across the chamber, another delegate shook her head sharply. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned. Weak. Did you not see what they showed us? Did you not feel it? I have fought in wars, and yet never have I feared as I did when I heard their words. To fight humanity is to risk everything. Perhaps it is wiser to speak with them, perhaps even ally with them. Ally with monsters who burn. Their own world? The warlike counselor spat. The debate grew louder, filling the air with anger and fear. The high speaker sat silently, watching. He knew the chamber was already splitting in two between those who wished to destroy Earth before it could grow stronger, and those who believed Earth might be the galaxy's only hope against future threats. Far from the chamber, in secret rooms, decisions were already being made. Several empires, humiliated by the surrender of their fleet, began planning in shadows. They gathered spies, sent silent orders, and built weapons. If the council would not act, they would. To them, Earth had to fall. It was the only way to erase their shame. But whispers spread in the opposite direction too. Smaller races, long bullied by empires, began to see Earth as something else. A threat, but a chance. For the first time, they believed a new power might rise to challenge the galaxy's rulers. On Earth, humanity felt the same storm of division. The people cheered, but the leaders prepared. In a hidden command base deep underground, generals and scientists studied the alien response. The broadcast had worked better than they imagined, but they knew it would not last forever. One scientist, his face pale from lack of sleep, leaned over the table. We forced them to see our history, but history is not enough. They will test us again. They will come with stronger fleets. It will not be so easily broken next time. The general nodded. And when they come, we must not only defend, we must strike. If we stay on Earth, they will surround us. We need ships, fleets of our own. Humanity cannot be trapped on one world. The president of Earth's council listened carefully. His voice was steady, but everyone in the room felt the weight of his words. Then we must do what humanity has always done in times of danger. We will build, we will fight. And if they come for us again, we will not wait to be attacked. We will meet them in the stars. Silence filled the room. Everyone knew what it meant. For the first time, Earth would prepare for a true galactic war. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the council's halls, a secret meeting took place. 5 figures sat around a dim table. They were not friends, but they shared the same fear. One of them whispered, "Humanity is left unchecked, they will become unstoppable. We all saw their spirit. We all felt it. They are dangerous." Another leaned forward. "Then we must act before the others see reason. Cannot wait for the council to debate." We strike Earth in secret, a fleet that cannot be traced to us. No survivors, no records. The others nodded slowly. They knew it was treachery, but fear made traitors of them all. Plans were drawn that night plans to erase Earth in silence, before humanity could grow. But spies listened. Messages traveled, and soon humanity knew. The president received the report with cold eyes. So they mean to kill us in secret, he said quietly. They believe they can erase us, and the galaxy will never know the truth. The generals. Fists slammed the table. Then we will show them truth. We'll show them that no one destroys Earth and lives to tell of it. Outside, the people of Earth continued their lives, unaware of the storm forming above. Children laughed, factories roared, soldiers trained. But behind the walls of command, humanity sharpened its claws. For the first time in history, Earth was united under one purpose: survival. And as the stars above shimmered in silence, fleets began to move in the dark. The secret war had begun. The secret fleet moved through the darkness of space. Its ships carried no banners, no signals, no trace of who sent them. They were ghosts, built for one mission only: erase Earth. On their command deck, alien officers whispered with grim determination, "The Council debates while we act.
Once Earth is destroyed,
No one will question us again. Humanity will be remembered only as ashes in the wind." The fleet traveled in silence, cutting across star systems, cloaked by hidden routes. They believed Earth would never see them coming. They were wrong. On Earth, hidden sensors lit up one by one. Deep under mountains, in the cold depths of oceans, in satellites disguised as debris, humanity's watchers saw everything. In the war room, alarms flashed red. Generals stood tall, their eyes fixed on the hologram of approaching ships. "They are coming," one officer whispered. The president of Earth's council entered, calm but heavy with tension. His voice was low. "So, the shadows finally move against us. They think us blind, they think us unprepared. Let them come." Around him, generals and commanders nodded. Humanity had known this day would arrive. They had been building, preparing, waiting, and now it was time to reveal what they had hidden. The secret fleet reached the edge of Earth's system. Scanners searched for defenses, but what they saw only confused them. Earth looked unguarded, just as before. One alien captain sneered, pathetic. "We still have no orbiting fleets, no defense grid. This will be easier than we thought." But then his second officer frowned. "Something is wrong. Our scans show strange activity, not weapons, but structures. Large structures." The captain dismissed it. "Structures will not stop us. Prepare the attack." And so the fleet advanced. As they entered range, Earth spoke. A voice cut through every channel, clear and sharp. "We knew you would come. You hide your banners, you hide your names, but we see you, and you will see us." The alien captains froze. They had tried to stay hidden, yet somehow humanity knew everything. Suddenly, the dark side of Earth's moon came alive. Shadows peeled away, revealing enormous shapes. Warships, not one, not 10. Hundreds. The alien fleet stopped in shock. The moon itself had been a disguise. Hiding shipyards that had worked in silence for years. Massive human battleships rose from their docks, weapons gleaming, engines burning bright. One alien. Officer gasped. "Impossible. How did they build so many, so fast?" The answer came from the voice again, steady and merciless. "You thought we were waiting to be conquered. You thought we were prey. But while you planned our death, we prepared your graves." The hidden human fleet formed in perfect lines, their weapons locking onto the invaders. The alien commanders panicked. "Retreat," one shouted. But before they could move, the human ships fired. Beams of light, missiles faster than thought, and railguns that cracked the void unleashed fury. The first wave of alien ships exploded in silence, their debris scattering like dust. The enemy tried to fight back, but humanity's fleet was ready. For every shot fired, 10 more answered. For every ship destroyed, 3 more humans struck. The aliens had come as predators. Now they were prey. Inside their flagship, the alien admiral shouted orders, but his crew no longer believed in victory. The human broadcast from weeks ago echoed in their minds. We are humanity. We are your nightmare. And now, that nightmare stood. Before them in steel and fire, the battle raged for hours, but the outcome was never in doubt. By the end, the secret fleet was gone, burned, broken, erased. Not a single ship escaped. On Earth, the people watched the sky, unaware of how close death had come. But in the war room, the president stood in silence. He knew what this meant. The galaxy would soon learn that Earth was not only was armed. Back in the council chambers, panic spread as news arrived. Delegates shouted, demanded answers, accused each other. Who had sent the secret fleet? Who was responsible for this humiliation? The High Speaker raised his voice above the chaos. Do you not see? We tried to erase them in silence, and instead, we made them stronger. Humanity is not a threat we can ignore. They are a storm, and it is coming for us all. Far away, in the deep void, the human fleet returned to its hidden docks. Soldiers stood proud, but their commanders remained cold. The president spoke to his generals in a voice that carried both warning and promise. This was only the first shadow strike. There will be others. The galaxy fears us now, but soon they will hate us. And when they unite against us, we must already be ready to do the unthinkable. The generals understood. Humanity had shown its fangs, but the true war had yet to begin. And as the stars burned in silence, the galaxy held its breath, waiting for what Earth would do next. The galaxy could not stay silent anymore. The destruction of the secret fleet shook every empire. Whispers spread faster than light. Humanity had not only defended Earth, they had crushed an entire invasion in hours. And worse, they had done it with a fleet no one knew existed. The council chamber became a storm. Delegates shouted, their voices echoing against the high walls. They have built a hidden armada. One roared, his skin glowing with fury. Earth is not weak, they are liars, deceivers. If we wait, they will become unstoppable. Another shouted back, and who made them build in secret? Who forced them to hide? We did. We sent fleets, we threatened. We tried to erase them. Humanity only defended themselves. The chamber boiled. With rage and fear, alliances cracked. Old friends accused each other of betrayal. For the first time in centuries, the council itself trembled on the edge of collapse. The High Speaker struck the gavel, demanding silence. His voice was heavy, as if he carried the weight of the stars. We must face truth. Humanity has shown what they are. The question before us is simple. Do we destroy them now, or do we stand beside them? The chamber froze. No one had dared speak of alliance before, but now the word hung in the air like thunder. Some representatives lowered their heads, others hissed in anger. The elder who once warned about humanity stood slowly. His scarred face was calm, but his words were sharp. You think you can destroy them? No, that chance is gone. They have already proven they can build faster than we thought, fight harder than we imagined, and endure more than any of us. We strike again, we will unite them fully, and we will fall. But if we ally with them, another voice cut in, trembling with both fear and hope, then perhaps humanity will turn its power against our enemies instead of us. The chamber erupted again. War or alliance? Fear or hope? The galaxy was tearing itself apart. Meanwhile, on Earth, leaders listened to every broadcast, every rumor. In the underground war room, maps of the galaxy glowed, showing which empires were leaning toward war and which were whispering about peace. One general studied the map carefully. They are dividing. Some want us destroyed, others want us as allies. If we move carefully, we can use this. If we rush, we will face them all united. The president leaned forward, his eyes sharp. Then we must play the oldest human game, divide and survive. Let them fight among themselves while we grow stronger. The generals agreed. Humanity would not rush into the council with open arms. Not yet. Trust was dangerous. Every empire still remembered the broadcast, the words that had frozen their fleets. We are humanity. We are your nightmare. And so Earth waited, building in silence, sharpening weapons, and watching the stars. But not all humans wanted to wait in secret. A group of commanders pushed for a different path. They argued that fear was not enough. We must strike first. One whispered in a hidden meeting, "They plan war against us. We know it. Better to hit them before they gather their strength." Others shook their heads. "No, if we attack, we will look like monsters. The galaxy will unite, and we will be crushed." The argument ended without resolution, but the seeds of division were planted not only in the council, but also within humanity itself. Back in the council chamber, events moved quickly. A faction of powerful empires demanded a vote to declare total war on Earth. Another group blocked it, calling for talks with humans instead. The council chamber shook with fury as one side shouted for extermination, while the other warned that extermination would bring only their own doom. Finally, the High Speaker stood, his voice like iron. "This council is no longer one body. We are split. The galaxy itself is breaking. Choose your side, war or alliance. But know this, whichever path you choose, humanity will remember." The chamber fell silent. Every delegate understood. No matter what choice they made, Earth would not forget. Outside, across the stars, fleets began to form. Some prepared to march against Earth. Others sent hidden signals, hoping to reach human ears in peace. And on Earth, the president looked into the night sky, whispering words only his closest generals heard. "The galaxy believes they can decide our fate, but they forget we are humanity. We decide our own future." The stars seemed to burn brighter, as if the galaxy itself held its breath. The war for Earth's destiny was no longer just about one planet. It was about the soul of the galaxy. The galaxy was no longer one voice. On one side, war fleets gathered, sharpening their weapons, waiting for the order to erase Earth forever. On the other side, smaller empires and frightened worlds whispered of peace, begging for talks with humanity. And then it happened. A small delegation arrived in Earth's orbit, 3 ships, carrying no weapons. Their engines burned slow, their signals clear. They claimed to come in peace. From the ground, humanity watched carefully. In the war room, generals argued in heated voices. "It's a trick," one snapped. "They come smiling, but behind them waits the blade. If we welcome them, they will stab us in the dark." Another general leaned forward, his eyes hard. Or perhaps it is true. Perhaps fear has made them wise. If some wish for peace, we should listen. We need allies. The president sat silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "You will receive them. But not as friends, not as enemies, as watchers. If they lie, we will know. If they speak truth, we will decide." And so for the first time, alien envoys walked on Earth without chains. The world watched on hidden screens as the delegation entered. The great chamber in New Geneva, their bodies were tall, their faces strange, their eyes heavy with worry. They bowed, not in arrogance, but in respect. One alien spoke first, his voice echoing. "We come not as conquerors, but as seekers of survival. We have seen what you are, we have seen what you can do. And we know those who stand against you will burn. We do not wish to burn, wish to stand beside you." The human generals whispered among themselves. Some laughed bitterly. Others listened with sharp eyes. The president finally asked, "And why should we trust you? You once stood silent while others came to kill us. You did nothing when fleets tried to erase us. Why now do you come with open hands?" The alien hesitated. His voice grew softer. "Because we have no choice. The council is splitting. War is coming. If we choose wrong, we die. And we believe humanity may be the only hope left for the galaxy."
Oh.
The chamber was silent. The president did not smile, did not nod. His voice was iron. "We will consider your words. But know this, Earth does not kneel. Earth does not forget. If you betray us, your stars will be the first to fall." The aliens bowed again, their bodies trembling. They knew it was no bluff. Far away in the council chambers, other voices screamed for war. "Enough waiting," shouted one commander. "Every moment we delay, humanity grows stronger. If we unite now, if we strike with all we have, we can still end them." And so the war faction prepared in shadows, building the largest fleet ever gathered in galactic history. Tens of thousands of ships, drawn from dozens of empires, forged under one banner: extermination. But whispers of the delegation leaked out. Ordinary beings across the galaxy heard rumors that some had gone to Earth, not with weapons, but with hope. For the first time, some began to wonder maybe humanity was not a monster. Maybe humanity was a shield. On Earth, the president gathered his closest generals after the delegation left. His face was grim. They offer peace, but behind them, war fleets rise. "We stand between two choices in alliance that may be a trap, or a war that may consume us all." A general leaned forward, "And perhaps we choose both. Speak with their envoys, but prepare for their fleets. If they are true, they will stand beside us. If they are false, we will be ready." And so, humanity walked a razor's edge, one step away from destruction, one step away from domination. In orbit, the hidden human fleet grew larger every day. Shipyards roared in silence, building vessels faster than anyone believed possible. Soldiers trained, weapons tested, strategies written. Humanity was no longer a world waiting to be conquered. It was becoming a power waiting to strike. The alien delegation departed, carrying humanity's cold words back to their worlds. But as they left, one of them whispered to his fellows, "I saw it in their eyes. They do not bluff. If the Council dares to attack again, the galaxy itself will bleed." The others nodded in silence. Far across the stars, the war fleets of the Council's hawks moved into formation. Their admirals prepared speeches of victory, believing they would crush Earth once and for all, but in the shadows. The words of the human broadcast still haunted them. "We are humanity. We are your nightmare." And soon the galaxy would learn weather. Those words were prophecy, a warning too late to heed. The galaxy's largest fleet moved through the stars. 10,000 warships, drawn from dozens of empires, formed into endless lines of steel and fire. Their weapons gleamed, their engines roared, their banners shone. They came with one purpose: erase Earth. On their flagships, commanders spoke with pride. "This time, there will be no escape. Humanity will burn, their fleet will break, their world will fall." The soldiers cheered, but their cheers were hollow. Deep inside, they remembered the broadcast. They remembered the human voice that had pierced their souls. "We are humanity. We are your nightmare." And though they tried to bury it, fear walked beside them. On Earth, alarms lit up across the war room. The hologram of space flickered, showing the vast armada moving closer with every hour. Generals studied the lines of enemy ships with grim eyes. "This is it," one whispered. "The largest fleet in history. They will not stop until we are gone." But the president of Earth's council stood tall, his voice steady. "They believe this is the end. They are wrong. Today we show them what humanity truly is." Across the planet, soldiers prepared. Massive underground bunkers opened. Railguns the size of towers rose from hidden silos. Submarines carrying missiles moved into deep oceans, and in orbit, humanity's fleet formed once again, larger than before, stronger than before. Ships born from the hidden forges of the moon, from the black factories of Mars, from the silent stations in the asteroid belt. The enemy had come in numbers, but humanity had come in will. Yet as the fleets moved into position, something unexpected happened. Signals flickered in the void. Small fleets began to appear, not from Earth, but from other worlds. At first, only a handful of ships, then dozens, then hundreds. The Council fleet froze in confusion. "These are not ours," one admiral hissed. From the shadows of space, ships painted in strange colors moved beside the humans. They were not Earth's. They belonged to smaller empires. Races long bullied by the Council, races who had lived in silence and fear. Now, They came to stand with humanity. Messages flashed. Across the channels, one voice, alien but strong, declared, "We have lived under your rule too long. We've bent our necks to your chains too long. But humanity stood against you, and they did not break. So we stand with them. Today, Earth does not fight alone." Galaxy gasped. The human fleet tightened formation. The alien allies locked into their lines. For the first time, a new power stood against the Council, not one world, but many. The Council admirals roared in anger. "Traitors, you dare side with humans." But their rage did not hide their fear. In the war room on Earth, a general smiled. For the first time, they came. They truly came. Humanity is no longer just one planet. We are the seed of something greater. The president's eyes remained hard. Then let the galaxy watch. Today they will learn the cost of underestimating us. The battle began. The Council fleet moved like a storm, waves of plasma fire and missiles filling the void. The human fleet answered with iron and fury railguns cracking space, cannons glowing white, missiles screaming through the dark. Allies joined their strange weapons, weaving fire beside Earth's steel. Together, they stood. Together, they struck. The stars themselves seemed to burn as ships shattered. As debris rained across the void, on the Council flagship, the Admiral shouted, his voice breaking. "Why do they fight so hard? Why do they not break?" A young officer whispered, his face pale. "'Cause they are human, and those who stand with them have chosen to be the same." The Council fleet began to fracture. Ships fled. Commanders hesitated. Fear spread faster than orders, but the humans did not stop. Their fleet pressed forward, iron teeth closing on the throat of the greatest armada ever built. And then, across every channel, the human broadcast returned. The same calm voice as before, but now sharper, colder. "You came with your greatest fleet. You came with all your might. But you forgot we are not alone. We are not weak. We are humanity, and we will never kneel. Today your empire dies, not by our hand alone, but by every world you thought broken." The words struck deeper than weapons. Soldiers who once believed in conquest now trembled. Captains surrendered. Ships powered down. The great Council fleet was breaking apart. In the war room, the generals stared at the screens as one after another. Council ships surrendered or fell silent. The president whispered, "It has begun. The galaxy's order is ending. A new age is rising." And above Earth, in the burning void, the nightmare the Council had feared most was coming true. Humanity was no longer fighting for survival. Humanity was leading a revolution. The void above Earth was filled with wreckage. Where once the galaxy's greatest fleet had stood proud, now only burning fragments drifted. Thousands of ships, broken or surrendered, scattered across the black. The Council's pride, the weapon meant to erase humanity, had been shattered. On Earth, cheers rose across every city. The people sang, wept, and shouted as one. Humanity had faced the storm and won. But in the war room, the atmosphere was colder. The president of Earth's Council stood over the glowing map of the stars. His eyes were hard, his voice steady. "This is not the end," he said quietly. "This is only the beginning. The Council will not forgive. It will not forget. Our empire is breaking, and they will fight to hold it. We must be ready." The generals nodded. They knew it was true. The victory was great, but greater storms were coming. Far away in the Council chambers, chaos reigned. The once mighty rulers of the galaxy shouted at each other, their voices filled with panic. "You promised victory." One delegate screamed, "You promised humanity would fall." Another slammed his fists on the table. "They did not only survive, they turned half the galaxy against us. Our fleets are shattered. Our people whisper rebellion. The empire itself crumbles." The high speaker sat in silence. His face was pale, his voice low. "Do you not see? The galaxy we built is gone. Humanity has torn away the fear that kept our worlds in chains. And now the stars are choosing them." Silence fell. For the first time, the rulers of the Galaxy understood the truth. They had lost more than a war. They had lost the future. On distant colonies, small races once enslaved rose up. They burned council banners and raised new ones, some bearing their own colors, some painted with the symbol of Earth. Across the galaxy, the old order was collapsing, piece by piece. And at the center of it all stood humanity. In orbit, Earth's fleet moved like a wall of steel, no longer hiding, no longer silent. Alien allies flew beside them, their ships carrying banners of freedom. Across the galactic network, a signal began to spread. It was the same voice that had haunted the council before, the same calm tone that had shaken soldiers into surrender. But now, it carried something greater. Once, humanity stood alone. Once, we were hunted, threatened, and mocked as weak. You came to erase us. You failed. You came with fire, and we answered with fire greater than yours.
Ow.
The broadcast spread to every world, every ship, every listening ear. But today is not only about humanity. Today is about all who were told they must kneel. All who were told they must live in chains. We say, no, no more.
Ow.
The galaxy is not yours to rule. The galaxy belongs to those who dare to fight for it. On hundreds of worlds, beings of every kind stopped and listened. Some cried, some shouted, some clenched their fists and swore never to bow again. The voice grew sharper. You thought humanity was your nightmare? You were wrong. We are the spark that burns your empire down. We are the fire that spreads from world to world. We will not stop until every star is free. The council delegates lowered their heads in shame. Soldiers across their fleets dropped their weapons. And on countless colonies, the people rose. Rebellion had begun and humanity was at its heart in the war room. The president listened as the broadcast ended. His generals turned to him, waiting for his command. He spoke slowly, but every word carried the weight of history. We did not ask for this war, but we will finish it. We will not only defend Earth, we will not only survive, we will lead. Generals saluted. Across the planet, across allied worlds, across the stars themselves, the meaning was clear. The galaxy had waited for Earth's response. It had come, not with silence, not with surrender, but with fire, and now the age of humanity had begun.